You've said that Israel should make Gaza into a place where no human being can exist by creating a humanitarian crisis, an epidemic, that the IDF should not differentiate between civilians and Hamas fighters, and that the people of Gaza should be forced to go to Egypt or other Arab countries. How can someone who has been at the very top of what Israel calls the world's most moral army come up with such a plan?
So what I'm saying, that the only effective pressure and the only thing that matters to the leadership of Hamas is the people of Gaza. If they become very frustrated, very concerned, very angry and very angry, only then they will actually fight or do something against their own regime. That's the way that it works. Hundreds, maybe thousands of so-called civilians came with them in order to rape, to rob, to kill, and to murder Israelis. When they decided to attack Israel, then there are far-reaching consequences that the people have to understand when they support such a regime.
You've said, and I quote, "Who are the poor women of Gaza? They're all mothers, sisters, and wives of Hamas murderers. If they experience a humanitarian disaster, Hamas fighters will understand the war is futile."
What is wrong about that?
But this will lead to massive suffering among 2.2 million people.
Not necessarily. It will lead to a real frustration in Gaza that will mobilize the people to take actions that otherwise they will not do.
How can someone with a Jewish background like yourself, someone who probably has family who witnessed and went through the horrors of the Holocaust, come up with a plan which many would say amounts to genocide, to collective punishment, and to expulsion of millions of Palestinians from Gaza?
Look, all of my family of my father were killed by the Nazis in Auschwitz. So I know exactly what is happening and what was happening there. Most Israelis understand, just as I do, that Israel is in a real existential war. If we fail, there will be no Israel. And if the price that all of us have to pay, that there is temporary misery in Gaza that will cause the people to revolt against the regime, this is more than justified, let's say, price or measure that should be taken. Most Israelis think like me.